Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and I'm excited as always for one of these half-pound world coin searches. We always get some cool coins, there's always something out of the ordinary, and I can't wait to get into the ones we have today. We basically look at every coin in here and see if there aren't any, valuable ones, silver ones, errors. I got them all from a big collection, and, we've had some really big finds, so let's see what happens today. And right off the top, I have to address the coin that looks potentially valuable because it could be potentially valuable. This one, I think it resembles the Fat Man dollar, except this is a smaller coin. It's hold, and there's tons of these that end up being fake, but I'd be curious to see if any of you know anything about it. And this one, I don't know. It doesn't look as immediately fake as some of the other ones, but I really just can't tell if we've got something good or not here. It's definitely an intricate design, really pretty on the back, and it seems to have been struck well, but it doesn't scream fake, though I just don't really deal too much with Chinese currency and coins, so I can't really tell, especially not the older stuff. Here's an aluminum 1947 5 franc coin, pretty light, even though it's a comparably pretty, it's just as large as the last coin we found. And here's another cool country, Mozambique 1974. And it's still with the Portuguese influence there. One escudo, a interesting copper coin. Definitely feels solid. I don't think I've had any one escudo finds more, 50 or 20 centavos, something like that. This one looks Egyptian, I think, based off of the front. And on the back, this one looks 1975. Is that right? I'm not exactly sure, but this one's kind of old, but it looks proof-like. I don't think it's a proof coin. It just kind of seems like it has a really shiny, reflective strike, which is kind of interesting. Another 1947 5 franc, so I'm not going to dwell too long on that one. And it looks underneath that. This is the hunt of the 5 franc coins. That's one's 1949 with the B mint mark, which, like Germany, I don't think it's the mint where they made that starts with a B. I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me on that. Here's a 50 centimes, probably from Haiti. 1907. Yeah, a interesting, much older coin. And these are interesting because they look like they're relatively recently struck, just in terms of the design. I think that they've kept the design or that crest around a lot on their coins, which is interesting because it's got that military symbolism. L'union fait la force is their slogan. After that, we've got this one, which maybe it's like a Bulgarian pickup. It says 1944, but I think that maybe it's just like a socialist republic as they freed themselves from got independence, that sort of thing. 1951 5 stotinki, I believe, is the correct pronunciation. After that, we have a 20-cent coin, 1980, from Mexico. So this one got demonetized, but probably was not worth too much back then, even with the exchange rates. 1957 claims to be the date on the Spanish coin, but we'll look at the back in 1961, 5 pesetas, and this is no longer, when this comes out, I think it will no longer be available to exchange. I think 2020 is the end of exchanging old Spanish currency. Here's a 1952 sixpence. So this one, a little older. We don't see that denomination quite as much for the older Great British stuff. Normally it's like half crowns for whatever reason. And then we have a 1 dinar from Yugoslavia. But there's some interesting coins. This one seems like a solid 1965 10 zloty from Poland, it's a commemorative coin. Maybe, I don't know what that is. Maybe like a victory or something like that, holding a sword, or maybe it's Olympic. I don't exactly know, but I don't think, did Warsaw have the Olympics? Maybe it did at one point. This one looks old and silver, so I had to pull it out and see what was going on. 1 franc 1943 from Switzerland. It almost looks like somebody plated it or just harshly cleaned it, something like that, but pretty confident that's 83.5% silver, which is good news, obviously. Good to get things going with something that we know is silver. 1971 1 cent from Trinidad and Tobago, and then this interesting uncirculated $1 from Singapore, 1969. I'm curious how the exchange rate is. I feel like this is probably worth like 30 or 40 cents. But it could have also been demonetized. It's a neat looking coin. It feels like a casino coin or something like that, especially with that kind of cartoon lion or something on on the back of it. So just kind of a neat coin to see. This one, 1961, probably 10 paisa from India. A fun kind of ridged coin there, and then a French 10 centimes in 1963. That's old. Check that out. 1841 sixpence. I think we found like an 1890s, but 1841, certainly a big coin to find here. Victoria de Gradia. Sweet. So you rarely find pre-1850 silver coinage, and this is certainly an example of just that. So really happy about that. That, was hiding under a bunch of coins, and this one looks old on top of it. 1878 in an old cluster, 1 cent from Netherlands. There you go. So 2 really cool older finds back to back. It's nice to get a little bit of everything. 1948, 1 shilling. I think it was 1946 was the last silver for England. So that does not qualify. 5 centimos here from Venezuela in 1974. They probably did not anticipate the massive inflation that would happen 40 years later. 1948, 1 franc from France, also aluminum. Then we have this larger coin, Albert Koning de Belgian, and I don't speak Dutch or anything. 5 franc, 1931. This is one of the weirdest looking coins. I don't know. To me, it looks like counterfeit, but not. I mean, it looks like the design, I have to say it this way, the design looks older than it actually is. So I feel like this design is emblematic of like pattern coins in the 1800s from the States, but I've never seen a design like it. So hopefully it's valuable. Doesn't feel silver or anything. Let's see what it says on the side here. Belgique. What does that say? Belgique. Okay, so nice. They came up with maybe the French and the Dutch way to say it. I don't know. Here's a 2-cent coin, 1962, from the Eastern group of Caribbean territories that are, their mother country probably is England, or their crown affiliated. I don't know how to exactly say that. In 1953, a Czechoslovakian Republic 25, maybe Hilaru, I want to say. I feel like there's 10 Hilaru coins. They're also aluminum. Here's a Hong Kong dollar, 1970. It's got that weird, rim or edge. It's really an edge. That's just an interesting look. 1960, 20 centavos from Mexico. After that, we have a more modern 1 rupee coin from India. Let's see what it is. 1964 with Jawaharlal Nehru. I don't know if that's a significant figure, and it must be in India, but I have not heard of him. 1976 here, 5 francs from Belgium again. After that, we've got 1 kroner, 1971. Gustav Adolf Sverige Koning, so the Swedish king. I don't know if the Swedish king was like a president, or if he's kind of how it is in Great Britain, where there's not as much political involvement now. 1974, 10 lire. After that, in 1933, 1 peso. This one actually reminds me of the Belgian franc design as well. So kind of neat to see that. And it's from Chile. Interesting. I don't know what the cracked design mean. This kind of feels like a fake coin, honestly. But maybe that's just how it looks. Either way, interesting coin. And, at least we're seeing a new type of design. 1906 halfpenny here. And it's, Edward the 7th. I kind of like those half pennies. Now that they don't appear so commonly in our hunts, they're kind of fun throwbacks to when we were getting them constantly. 1973, 2 escudos, 50 cents from Portugal. And then just to wrap things up here, we've got a 6-pence in 1959 from Great Britain. This one, which I don't know where it is, Gran Almirante Miguel Grau. I feel like maybe Nicaragua, I'll guess. And it's Peru, 1980, so 50 centimos, different continent, but I think both speak Spanish. Miguel is kind of a Spanish-sounding name. Then we've got 1977, 1 franc from France. 1952, 3 pence with a bunch of different sides, kind of pointy, from Great Britain. Then our last 2, these are tiny coins, wow. 5 centavos on the left from Peru, 1966, and 10 ore from Norway, 1955. So a bunch of cool stuff today. A little smaller in terms of the silver side, though I am still really curious about this 1 peso from 1933 from Chile, because it just feels, for whatever reason, like either it's fake or it's a really good coin. Also interested to follow up. This feels clad, but what this coin is, if it's valuable or not. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretown.yt.com, Facebook, Treasuretown, Instagram @TreasuretownYT, or Twitter @Treasuretown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.